Hi, you did a lot of things right today. You got Virat out, you got Rohit also out early, but Suryakumar just took the game away. Can you talk a little bit about what you saw from Sky? He's the number one batsman in the world. Whatever you threw at him, he had an answer.
Yeah, look, I mean, he was obviously exceptional today. I thought our first 10, 15 overs were really good and pretty much kept us in the game, apart from that innings that he played towards the end there. He's such a 360 player, so difficult to bowl to, and once he gets in and gets going, it just makes it more and more difficult. But I thought he batted really well today.
How do you sum up Zimbabwe's campaign in this World Cup? Because it has been a very interesting campaign for you guys, very impressive. So overall, do you think this? How do you sum up? And do you think after this, the growth of cricket in Zimbabwe back home, how it will help?
Yeah, look, it has been a little bit disappointing to obviously finish with three losses, but we mustn't forget the excellent work that we did during those qualifiers to get us into the Super 12s and obviously beating Pakistan as well. So there's a lot to take from this World Cup and build on that, going forward.
Hi, Vimal Kumar this side. It's being suggested that throughout the tournament prior to this match, India didn't come up with their game A. Do you think India were at its best today against you for the first time in the tournament?
Oh, look, it's very, very hard to say whether they're at their best or not. There's different conditions and situations and things like that. I just thought that today, they finished the innings really well today and probably got 20 or 30 above par. We were looking to try and keep them to around 150, 160. I thought was a really good effort. But like they finished those last few overs extremely well and got them up to a score that was difficult for us to chase.
Great. Can you speak about the experience of playing in front of that crowd and what that might do for your group moving forward, some of the lessons you might have learned out there today, particularly with guys experiencing the MCG for the first time and where they needed to be off the rope and things like that? What types of things from that atmosphere, that stage, will you take forward as a group and as individuals moving forward in your cricket?
Yeah, look, I mean, we played a warm-up game here against Sri Lanka before the World Cup actually started. And the MCG was a very different picture than what it was tonight. But it's such an electric atmosphere. It's quite difficult when you're on the field because you can't actually shout at anybody that's close to you because they're just not going to hear you. So one of the things we learned was you got to keep your eye on the keeper and obviously me at all times, to understand where to go and stuff like that. And I think it's very easy to get caught up in all the noise, especially bowling at the death there, the crowd's cheering, the ball's disappearing, and sometimes you can kind of cloud your sort of calmness and clarity, I think, at the top of your mark. So there's lots of little things that we can definitely take out of tonight.
Hi, here, right at the back. I just wanted to ask you if you could throw some light on what kind of planning that goes through, like when you're bowling to Suryakumar in the final over there. Do you almost concede the fact that if he's going to play a shot, if he's going to shuffle across and hit the ball over fine like a third man, and there's nothing you can do too much about it because, we did see that you were trying to change the field around quite a bit, bring mid off and extra cover in and kind of leave that open, push fine leg and third man back and then kind of swap it around. So what goes on in the planning and then when do you say, okay, too good, the batsman's better?
Yeah, look, I mean, you always have your plan A and plan B and plan C, I guess. But obviously our first plan was to try and execute our Yorkers, and it's trying to find a balance between when do you move from that plan A to then trying a plan B and a plan C. And I thought today we probably could have moved to the other plans a little bit earlier. But credit to Suri, be batted excellently today.
We'll now cross over to our colleagues who joined us via Zoom. Then we'll come back on site. We'll start with Anuj Mishra, followed by Umesh from Creek Tracker. Please go ahead.
Hello, Ervine. You mentioned about the win against Pakistan. What value does it hold? The win against Pakistan, what value does it hold in your campaign in the T20 World Cup?
Oh, it's that win against Pakistan has tremendous value. I think those are the sort of memories that you do take away from a tournament like this. So it's definitely something that will live on in Zimbabwe cricket. But like I've said before, it's we want to get more and more victories like that and try and be a little bit more consistent.
Umesh?
Hello, Craig. My question is that you gave a surprising result to everyone by defeating Pakistan in the group stage. So after going out from the World Cup, what are the learnings Zimbabwe will take with them, and when we can expect the more and more players like Sikandar Raza and Sean Williams in the 11?
Yeah, look, I mean, Sikandar's been excellent for us, and I think Zimbabwe cricket is at that stage where we are trying to get some development going and trying to bring other players through it. Obviously, it does take a lot of time, and I think everybody understands that. So, it's an important few years for Zimbabwe cricket going forward.
Right, we will now take the last question to wrap it up from the floor. Yes.
Yeah, Skipper, now India and Zimbabwe, they not played for the last 6 years. They played only 7, and India has been 5. And also, what do you tell the new ball operators, someone who is like Richard, 30 matches, 30 wickets, and bowling to the kind of batsman who's the top 2 run getters in the world in that format actually, and the fourth one, Surya, is actually the highest scorer in the last calendar year. So what do you tell them? What is their mindset, bowling to Rohit or Rahul or Virat Kohli?
Look, I think at the end of the day, it's you've got a ball in your hand and there's a batsman on the other side. I don't think that you look at the names too much because otherwise it can become a little bit overwhelming and you might feel like you've defeated before you've even bowled the ball. So I think you back the plans that you've had. I think you back the good things that you've done before and you try and repeat that.
Right, that's it, and thank you very much.